And to put the long story short, we actually had the King of Malaysia launch this pre-marriage education program in Malaysia. All of us believe that family is the basic functional unit of society, and most government agencies or bodies in different countries around the region that I serve would really subscribe to that, because family is important. And where there's a breakdown in the family, inevitably society would be affected, community would be affected, and eventually the nation would be affected.
Focus on the Family has been invited into public policy all around the world. From influencing sex education to marriage programs and policy, to addressing parenting and even gang violence in societies struggling with the fallout of absent fathers and broken homes. Family is the cornerstone of healthy societies. You provide for your family, and you want to make the world a better place. We want to do that with you, strengthening families together so they can thrive in Christ worldwide.
Well, I'm Wee Min. I'm from Malaysia. I'm actually the chairman for the Focus on the Family in Malaysia, and I'm also serving as the Asia Regional Director for Focus on the Family Global. I'm a civil engineer by training. I had my own business. By the grace of God, in 1995, I was able to sell off my company, and I felt that God was leading me into ministry. And in 1997, I started Focus on the Family in Malaysia. But it wasn't a smooth journey simply because of the fact that Malaysia is a Muslim country. So they were observing us for a good 4 years before inviting us to actually sit on the board for National Population and Family Development. As I began to look back on the countries that I've been traveling to try and encourage the importance of emphasizing on the importance of family, I realized that there is a similarity, whether it's in Mongolia, where we have an office, or in Taiwan, where we have an office, or Singapore, Malaysia, or Indonesia, where we have a Focus on the Family office, and some of our ministry partners, like in the Philippines. One of the common things that is being expressed constantly by the authorities or by the government is that what can you contribute at the grassroots level to really strengthen and to build up the families, whether it's among the young people, the youth, or in marriages or in parenting. And I'm glad that over the years, Focus on the Family has so much resources that we can tap on and contextualize to fit into a culture that would become relevant. And the Prime Minister at that point in time said that one of the reasons why we are having social problems among young people in the country is because there is a breakdown in the foundation of the family. And I'm sure, Sixto, you would have experienced that the same too, right?
Definitely. I am Sixto Porras, the Vice President of the Hispanic Ministry. I've been working here for more than 25 years. I was born in Costa Rica, and the government of Costa Rica gave me the National Prize of Values, and I have served more than 20 years in the government in the construction of their plans or family policy, and I have been able to advise 7 different congresses, groups of congressmen and congresswomen. This is an adventure that I didn't imagine how it would happen. I studied law, but my vocation is to serve the Lord. And God has used Enfoque La Familia so that we can influence governments in different Congress in different places of Latin America, and I really thank God for this opportunity.
The families that you can impact as a result of what we are doing is beyond what money can do, and to see marriages being restored, parent and child relationship being strengthened, and to have the opportunity in Malaysia to work with the Malaysian government, being a Muslim country, is something like Sixto I can't even dream of. But to be there, it's really something that you need to depend on the Lord, because you can't do it on your own.
I still remember when Mexico's president called me and asked us for help. One of the challenges that we face is how can we help strengthen the families through public policy. I still remember in Peru, they gave us a recognition in all the Congress, and they asked us, how can we make laws in the favor of families if we don't have any proposals? And what we have done is travel all over Latin America to create a healthy conscience about how we can build family policy, the economic structure, the family structure, the social structure. It's improved because the families are united, and that brings healthy economies. When we've shared those principles, many political figures have told us, we have never thought about this topic that way. So that's a privilege that we have here at Focus on the Family, that we can come alongside public servants and they can have horizontal policies that can impact the families in our society.
Yeah, I thank Sixto for sharing, and that reminds me of there was this issue of fathers abdicating themselves in the role of parenting. You know, the lion's share of parenting is always with the mothers, and fathers think that so long as they bring home the bread and the bacon, they have done the job. When we have a parenting event, it is the mothers who attend and the fathers are always absent. So we made a proposal to the minister in Malaysia, the Minister of Family Development, and said, hey, why don't we bring parenting workshops to the workplace? That means that we go to the workplace and conduct a parenting workshop during office hours. And when we did that, the fathers has to be there because they are working in the office. They are thankful that somebody is there to give them some ideas and skills on how to become a better father. And that has actually a rippling effect, because after that, there were many other organizations who wanted to do the same, so that the message of intentional fathering is being clearly communicated.
When I hear you women, I remember the relationship with the government started when the Ministry of Education of Nicaragua invited us to share a seminar about sexual education with young people. And we translated No Apologies, and that time was Sex, Lies, and Truth, and that was answering to the need that a government had that wanted to talk about sexuality. They didn't want to give out condoms and that's it. They wanted to give a holistic answer. When we assisted the government of Nicaragua, we never thought that a socialist country would ask us for help. And the First Lady of Guatemala was the one that invited us first, and she covered all the costs. She invited directors so that we could train them in No Apologies.
I think it's important that through No Apologies, we are really hitting the importance of building the foundation of any nation, and that's our young people. Well, there are two other countries where Focus on the Family is, whereby we are quite engaged with the government as well. One is in Mongolia. I think Mongolia is a fairly young country when it comes to this kind of ministry. They were in communism for a long time, and maybe about 25 years ago, they were no longer a communist government. And therefore, ministry or work like this is fairly new. And our director there happens to be a trained psychologist with a PhD. And so we are really thankful that because of that, some of the programs and the products that Focus on the Family Mongolia has is quite well received by the government as well. Then the other country which we are really thankful to the Lord for is actually for Singapore. So every year, the government actually supports Focus on the Family Singapore in a program called The State of the Family, where this program is reaching out to about 500 people every time the presentation is being done. This is not only to government bodies, to churches, but to the community. And so when that is being shared, that would usually be the launching pad for some of the programs that is done not only just by Focus on the Family Singapore, but by other community people as well in the area of promoting family life.
This makes me think about when the president of Honduras called us and he told us, we have a very difficult problem with the gangs. We need a program that can help us reduce violence in our country. Enfoque La Familia, being involved with sex education, the public policy arena, and also integrating healthy families within society is more important now than ever. It's something amazing, and it's something that I can thank God to serve alongside with you women.
One of the biggest influencers of family formation are the laws and policies of a country. Thanks to supporters like you, even Muslim and socialist countries recognize the impact our ministry has on the foundation of society. Check out personal impact stories from all over the world at focusonthefamily.com/global-outreach.